Hello and welcome to this second video of the 1970s Muscle Car Challenge. So in the first video we have driven the cars that has passed all the rules without breaking any rules, and we have tested them. On, of course, on the West Coast Highway map, which was an awesome race because it gives you a quick look for about acceleration and about the top speed. Because as we all know, muscle cars are not really what you call racing cars. These cars were designed only to look good and to sound good doing quarter-mile runs only. I mean, these cars were not really efficient cars. They were not really handling cars. I mean, these cars can't handle at all. The brakes were too small back then. The suspension was very old technology. I mean, really, it was very horrible to handle. But these cars are favorable. People love these cars so much because they look good and they sound good and they have all the amazing horsepower at the front. American muscle V8, maybe V8s at the front, and that was the iconic signature of the muscle cars. So in this video, this is the part 2. I will be driving the disqualified cars from the same 1970s muscle car challenge. So all the cars that you will be seeing here today or tonight or whatever time you are watching this video, all the cars that you will be seeing here, all of them got disqualified because they have broken one or even more of the rules that I set for that video. Let's see. So we will be starting with the Cyclone, the first car that got disqualified from the challenge. So the Cyclone, as you can see, this car looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, really good for a muscle car. All the amazing muscle car details are here. The headlights, the grille, the rims, the side mirrors, everything about this car is very beautiful for a muscle car. And the reason this car got disqualified because this car has scored 7.9 points on the comfort, and the safety was 36.1, which is against the rules right now. So alright, so let's see and let's test the same car, the Cyclone, on the same map, which is the West Coast map in BeamNG.drive, and of course let's see how this thing will go here. Alright, very long gear, very long gear. Acceleration is good, the speed is very good. That's actually very nice. So the first car here, which is the Cyclone, has scored 36.434, a very noble and very awesome time for these muscle cars, because I remember the times from the part 1 video. I mean, those numbers were 38, 37, and yes, the quickest one was 34. So 36 for a start is a very good number. Alright, let's go on with the second car then. Alright, so this is the second car that got disqualified from the 1970s muscle car challenge. This car is called the DOC, or the DOC 393. That's the name of this car. First glance, this car looks typical American. I mean, look at those headlights, the grille, even the logo. The logo looks very nice actually. I like the logo so much. It looks like a car from a game. Yeah, I think this car was, the inspiration for the purple color, and that front logo is of course from the Saints Row the third game. I think so. The same pink or the same purple and the same front grille, which is really awesome. This thing, let's see, the DOC 393 got disqualified because this thing has scored on the reliability 57.4 total safety point, which is total reliability point, which is against the rules, because the reliability should be above 60 points, and this car has scored 57 only, which is not really appropriate for the rules. Alright, let's see how this thing will perform. But let me first talk about the horsepower, because I forgot to mention the horsepower in the first car. So the dog, what is it, 393, this thing has a 6.4 liter V8 engine, 289 horsepower and 7.7 seconds from 0 to 100. Alright, let's see what's what. Acceleration is not a bad thing. Speed is good, not bad for a 200 horsepower engine. So 39.234, of course, because this thing is a little bit low on power, 289 horsepower. The previous car, the Cyclone, that car is producing 401 horsepower. Pretty huge difference. Alright, let's move on with the next car. Alright, so the third car that we have here, it's called the FFHM, and look at this thing, very long car. I mean, extremely long car. I mean, it looks like, wow, it looks like a bus or a huge SUV when it comes to length. The length is huge and it's very basic. I mean, look, no details in the back, no badges, nothing. On the side, the same idea. I mean, there's nothing to talk about. Yes, we have tiny side exhaust pipes, but nothing else to talk about. Really, look at it. Very basic. Yes, the front looks acceptably good, but the sides are normal. But the rear is very dreary. I mean, look at it. This thing is very basic. Yes, the design looks not bad, but the rear is wow. Alright, so the FHM then, this thing has scored, this thing got disqualified because this thing has scored 11.1 points in the sport category, 5.1 points in the comfort category, and 38.1 in the safety or in the safe category, which is not really appropriate for the challenge. The FHM has a 7.9 liter V8 engine, 426 horsepower and 7.6 seconds. So much wheel spin on the first gear. Yep. We have the power, but the gearing is rubbish. Yes, look at the gearing. Fourth gear, nothing. 90, 95. Have it. Alright, 200. Wow. 40 seconds. The engine is really powerful. The gearing is rubbish because tons of wheel spin on the first gear. I tried to be gentle, but no, this thing doesn't really like gentle or aggressive on the first gear. So 40.85 because of the gearing. And as you have seen, as you saw when I was driving it, I mean, third gear not much speed, fourth gear also not much speed, but the engine is powerful, but the gearbox is rubbish, or the gearing is rubbish. Alright, let's move on with the next car. Alright, so the next car, it's called, which is really weird, it's called the Ford Escort. It looks, I don't know, it looks familiar, but it's not really appropriate for the challenge. First of all, these flames are rubbish. The second thing is, look at those modern headlights. I mean, these are modern headlights, and we have a Japanese front license plate, which is not appropriate for a muscle car from 1970 because well, I really don't think there were muscle cars in Japan back then. I really don't think so. And those flames back there, I don't know, the car looks absolutely weird and not really appropriate for the challenge. And look at those very extremely wide tires, not really 1970s appropriate. I mean, this car doesn't look like a production car. This thing looks like a garage made car, which is not really appropriate because I asked for production muscle cars, not garage made muscle cars. Yeah, that's why this thing got disqualified. Plus the, where is it, the Escort has scored 0 comfort. Yes, 0 comfort, and that proves my point. This is, I didn't ask for a racing car, and the reliability was 58.5, which is not like the rules, and a V6 by the way. So 36.651, very amazing effort, and I'm sure this car, maybe it will be, maybe, I'm not sure if this thing is good around a corner test track, who knows, but in a straight line it's not really that bad for a V6. Really good. Remember, this car is really light against those heavy American muscle cars. Alright, let's move on with the next car. Alright, so the next car is called the Forolet. The Forolet, yes, that's the name of the car. The car actually looks very decent. It's not really a bad looking car at all, but there are some tiny details that I really don't like. For example, the exhausts and those sticking out tires, which are not really appropriate. And let's see what else. Those SS badges on the side. I mean, look at it. It comes across with the door itself, which is not really appropriate. And those huge rims are not from 1970s. I mean, I don't know, the car looks good and bad at the same time. I apologize, but yeah, I mean, I like the body very much, the front end, the side, and the rear. The rear is very good. The exhaust, not much, and the rims and the tires are, no, I don't like those. And the SS badge is not really appropriate. I'm not saying appropriate, but I mean, look at it, it come across with the doors, so the placement or the place for the SS is not really good, and the font and the size of the SS badge is not really what you call classic. Yeah. Alright, so the Forolet then. So this thing has a 5-liter V8 engine, 216 horsepower. That's it. Wow. 6.8 seconds. Yeah. Very loud engine. So 39.952, not bad for a 216 horsepower engine. The engine goes nicely. It's very loud, yes, but the engine and the gearbox ratios or the gear ratios are very good. So the reason this thing got disqualified, let me remember the name of it. This thing is the Forolet then, according to my book. Where's the Forolet? Yes, 0 comfort again, and the reliability was 59.8, which is not acceptable at all. Alright, let's move on with the next car. Alright, so the next car, it's called the Impala 422, I guess. Yes, the Impala. So this thing looks not bad. I mean, looks sporty, I think, for a muscle car. A lot of vents, a lot of touch-ups on the roof, on the hood, which is muscly. The Impala badges. The rear is very nice. I like the rear so much. It looks very classic. I like the Gazelle badge, the 422, and the Impala badge. Looks absolutely classic, and I like it so much. The rear ring, yes, or the spoiler wing, whatever you want to call it, looks, yeah, I really don't like it. I think the car will look much better without that rear wing. The fuel filler cap with that handle, not a bad touch indeed. And those handles look really not much reliable, but they're very nice touch. Those vents on the side, nice. It's not bad at all. So let's see the Impala then. Where is it? Ah, here we go. So the Impala has a 9.7 liter V12 engine, 569 horsepower. Let's see, 8.7 seconds from 0 to 100, so that means tons of wheel spin maybe. This thing got disqualified because it's too expensive, $27,799. I asked for a maximum price limit of 25 grand or 25,000. This one costs $27,799, which is not according to the rules. Oops, scratch the car a little bit. So the power is there. Can we actually transfer it to speed? Nope. 37.378. Yes, we have so much power. The gear ratios are rubbish. That's the thing, and also I think there's too much drag. I don't know if it's from the aerodynamics or something, or maybe the aerodynamics are too much, and that's actually not helping the acceleration at all. The engine feels heavy, the car feels so heavy and very low on power. I mean, yes, it has 500 and what is it? 500 and something horsepower, 69 horsepower, 569, but it doesn't feel that. It doesn't feel that at all. It feels like 400 horsepower, not 569. Alright, let's move on with the next car. Okay, so the next car is called the Hague, I think the Hague Burnout Edition. This thing has a 6 liter V8 engine. As we can hear, it's a flat plane V8. This thing, let's see, 254 horsepower, 7.3 seconds from 0 to 100. So the Hague got disqualified because the reliability was 57 plus a badly tuned engine. Unfortunately, it's a very big engine and the power output is not really efficient, and I looked at the tune and this engine can make much horsepower with a little bit better components. I'm not saying super better components, a little bit better components. So the car as a design looks good, actually. It doesn't really look that bad. It looks actually good. The rear is very normal, very good. The side is basic and classic. The front, the black bonnet, not bad, and the hood scoop, yeah, there are some nice touches. And we have a front lip too. So let's see how this thing will perform. Yep. Acceleration is not that great. The speed is not that great too. So 41.5, which is the slowest one so far. Yeah, unfortunately that's not really a muscle car. According to this performance, it's not really a muscle car. It looks like a muscle car, yes, but the performance is a pony car performance, not a biceps triceps, yeah, performance, unfortunately. Alright, so let's move on with the next car then. Alright, so the next car is called the Monrach Mata, I think. The Monrach, yeah. So this thing, you know, the first glance when I saw it, I thought to myself, well, it looks like a car, a sports car, maybe from Europe from 1950s, which is, look, I mean, it looks good for a classic car, but For a muscle car, it doesn't really say, look at me, I'm a muscle car, I'm the Duke car, I'm the Duke boys car. Really, it doesn't say that at all. It says I'm a classic car that needs to be sold in an auction. That's what this thing is saying to me. So so this car then, let's see, where is it? So the Monrach, I think. This thing has a 5-liter V8 engine, 368 horsepower, 6.2 seconds from 0 to 100. So this car got disqualified because this thing has 0 comfort points and the reliability was 57. Yeah. Acceleration is good, car is light, engine is powerful, gear ratios are not bad, the speed is very good. $35. Wow, the quickest one so far, 35 seconds, which is very good. I'm really surprised by this car. The engine is not badly tuned, the car is fairly lightweight against those other cars, the gear ratios are not bad at all, and looks good for a 1950s car, really good, or maybe 60s, I think. Alright, so I'm really happy with the results. Now let's move on with the next car. Alright, so the next car is called the Mundo. This thing has a 6-liter V8 engine, flat plane as you can hear, 454 horsepower, 7.4 seconds. So the Mundo, where is it? Where's the Mundo then? So the Mundo got disqualified because this thing has a low reliability of 58.9 points. Now the styling, the car looks actually good, not bad indeed. Look at that front end. Those light covers, the front grille, fog lights, those fat push bars or push bumpers, whatever you want to call it, the V8 badge on the side, the side exhausts. The color scheme look very good. Look at those vents behind the tire fender. The rear looks good. The GT badge, the Meteor. I like the badges. The rear. Oh, the rear is actually very nice, detailed. The taillights look absolutely beautiful. I love the details on the back end so much. The badges looks very awesome and very classic. Right. So 38.432. This car is really impressive actually, but the engine is really powerful, but the car feels heavy. The gear ratios are not that perfect. Yeah, and that's why this thing, yes, it has a very slow time compared to the first car, which is really awesome. But this one is actually not that bad. I like the styling so much. The styling is very good. A lot of attention to details, and I love attention to details. I mean, this thing looks absolutely beautiful. So let's move on with the next car then. Okay, so the next car is called the Pellet. This thing has a 6-liter V8 engine, flat plane as you can hear, 281 horsepower and 6.5 seconds from 0 to 100. So the Pellet got disqualified because, let's see, I'm searching it in my book. Where's the Pellet? Here we go. This thing has a 0 comfort point, which is terrible. Safety of 37.9. Oh, that is very low safety point, which is not really that great. Let's see, anything else that I should worry about? No. Alright, so this car then, the Pellet, This thing got also disqualified not because of the points, because of the styling as well. This thing doesn't really say muscle car. Look at it. Yes, we will get to the tires in a moment. So this thing doesn't say muscle car at all. Look at it. It says I'm a Japanese or maybe a European coupe that had the engine swapped with a V8. Super wide tires, which is not really appropriate at all for 1970s. Yeah, I mean, look at those tires, absolutely ridiculous. That's why also this thing got disqualified. The rear end, I like those taillights, those lines coming from the sides connecting the rear. Very nice touch. The badge is not bad at all, but those tires spoil all the looks of the car, and those monster looking side exhaust pipes, they will give you an idea of maybe a 700 horsepower engine, not a 200 horsepower engine. Because this thing, my friends, has a 281 horsepower engine, and those side exhausts, yeah, I think those are fake. Alright, not only from this side also, yeah, it's not really appropriate for the horsepower. And those tires are not really what you call grippy at all. Those tires. Three gears only. So 37.152, not bad at all. 4th place. Really not bad. I'm impressed actually, but the styling is very weird for the tires and the looks and everything. Alright, so let's see what's the next car is. Alright, so the next car is called the PPA. This thing has a 5.3 liter V8 engine, 268 horsepower, 6.5 seconds from 0 to 100. So the PPA got disqualified because, where's my book? Here we go. Reliability of 59.2, and it's a huge car and low horsepower. That means a heavy car and low horsepower. Look at it. This car looks actually good, not that bad at all. Look at the striping, the front grille, everything looks absolutely decent, except for the V8 badge. It's too big on the side, and those modern rims are not really appropriate for a 1970s muscle car. Those exhausts are too big for the horsepower. Yeah, that's why this thing is not only because of the reliability, it's also for the styling and the low horsepower. The styling is saying 400 horsepower Hemi engine. Yeah, but this thing has a 200 horsepower engine, which is an embarrassment. Acceleration, not bad. Not bad for a 200 horsepower engine. 5 gear, 5 ratios. Too modern for a muscle car too. Yes, there were some cars with 5 speeds, but I really don't think they are appropriate. But 200 kilometers per hour, impressive. 39.768, which puts this car in the 8th place. No, I'm not really surprised, but it's good. It's really good for the horsepower and for the weight of the car. Really good. Alright, let's move on with the next car. Okay, so the next car is called the Rosewill Bison. Very cool name. This thing has a 6 liter V8 engine, 300 horsepower, exactly 7.7 seconds from 0 to 100, and a very classic styling. I like a classic styling so much. We have a sky blue color, gray or whatever you want to call it, silver gray roof, vinyl roof. Looks very cool. And the rear end, very basic American, rear end. Bison logo, those beautiful reverse lights, And look at those beautiful tail lights, and of course look at that exhaust. The rims are typical American classic rims, really good. The handles, I mean, the car has cool attention to details, and at the same time it looks classic. It doesn't look boring at all. It looks very classic. And remember, 300 horsepower engine, so it's not really that slow, and it's not really that fast, but 300 horsepower seems very decent. It's in the middle. It's not too slow like a 200 horsepower engine, and it's not too big and too powerful and too firepower like a 400 horsepower or 500 horsepower engine. It's in the middle, which I truly like. So let's test it. And it's quiet. And it can smoke the tires very easily. Nice. It's not gonna be fast, but I like it. Acceleration, not that bad. The gearbox, 5 speeds, I think too much. And no, we haven't reached 200. So 40.6 points, which puts it in the 11th place. Yes, it's not fast, and yeah, it's not really that fast at all. But I like the name, I like the styling so much. The engine is in the middle, which I truly like. I mean, I love big horsepower, really tons of horsepower, but 300 horsepower seems normal for an American muscle car. Very normal, that anyone can buy this car and drive it normally without worrying about crashing it. And 40 seconds, yeah, that's very slow, to be honest. I really don't like the gearbox. 5 ratios, I think, too much. The gear ratios are not really that good. So the Rosewell, then let's see. So the Rosewell, I really cannot see because it's too dark in here. So this thing has it's actually 0.6% of brake fading, which I said and I mentioned before, I don't want to see any percentage of brake fading at all. No brake fading at all. And everyone is saying to me, why do you hate brake fading? Because yes, I know in real life all the cars fade, even supercars, they have brake fading, but I'm not saying about brake fading around the test track. I'm talking about you are driving your car on the first corner, you use the brakes and the brakes are fading on the first corner. The first corner, you press the brakes and they will fade. That's what I hate. Yeah, and that's why all the cars should have 0% of brake fade. That's why. I don't care about 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 laps. All cars will have brake fading after 3 laps, 4 laps. But I'm talking about the first corner, the first ever corner. You use the brakes and the brakes will turn into red, you know, they will glow red and they will catch on fire and they will fade. That's what I really hate. Yeah, that's why all of them has to be 0%. Sorry for disqualifying you, my friend, but next time use 0% brake fading. And good work. I really love the styling. I love this car so much. So let's move on with the next car then. Alright, so the next car, it's called the VC. The VC Imponte, I think. The styling looks actually very balls to the walls. I mean, look at it. I mean, muscles everywhere, giant hood scoop, front massive lip. Everything is blacked out with that beautiful looking yellow or orange color. The rims also has that orange lip. Side exhaust pipes, which are looks very muscly. The engine noise is really good. I like the sideline integrated with the door handles. Really nice touch everywhere. Muscles everywhere. So the VC got disqualified, unfortunately, because the comfort points are 4 only, and the safety was 32.7 and the reliability was 56.7. So the VC has, let's see, 7.3 liter V8 engine, 443 horsepower, 6.3 seconds. That's acceleration. Look at that, eco. Yeah, like I believe you. $220, not bad. Not bad indeed. So 5th place actually, 37.352. Not bad at all. I'm impressed actually. This thing drives very nicely in a straight line. Yeah, but 37.352. I think the car is heavy, and I think this thing has too much downforce on it, which spoils the acceleration, or the high speed acceleration, which is not really appropriate. Let's see what else. The gearbox ratios are not bad actually. The engine is really powerful, but the RPM is too low, and I think you can't even go higher because the engine will explode. But I'm impressed. I'm genuinely impressed. Good work, my friend. Let's move on with the next car. Alright, so the final disqualified cars that we have here, it's called the Zavaz, the ZA or the ZAVAZ. This thing has a 6.5 liter V8 engine, 340 horsepower, 6.7 seconds from 0 to 100. Now the styling, this thing looks, let's look at the rear end. So this is, I think, a handle or something, or a latch or something for the boot or the trunk. There's the name. The side looks very basic, nothing special at all. The front, well, the front is, yeah, I will leave that to you in the comment section to tell me what do you think about the front of these Zavaz. Yeah, look at it. This is a far look. I don't know if you like it or not. I would love to know your opinion about the front end of in the comment section. So this thing, the Zavaz, then got disqualified because, let's see, where's my book? Here we go. The comfort was 8.6 seconds. Sorry, 8.6 points. Alright. Pick up. So the gear ratios are very heavy with the power. $39.569, which puts this thing in the 9th place. Alright, so we have tested all the cars, all the disqualified cars from the 1970s Muscle Car Challenge. So these are the winners from the disqualified cars. So in the first place we have the Monrach Manta. Let me show you a better view. So we go to the menu. We go to drive, we go to test trials, we select the West Coast map, the highway strip, and let's see, we select any car. For example, let's select the first one, which is the Cyclone. So here are the cars. So in the first place, this car, then the Monrach Manta in the first place, scoring 35 seconds, which is really nice and quick. Second place goes for the Cyclone GT, scoring 36 seconds, .434. Third place goes for the Ford Escort Mark 1, which looks absolutely weird and modern in some areas and really not appropriate for in some areas, but I will leave that to you in the comment section. This thing has scored 36.651. So the fourth place goes to the Pellet KT, and fifth place for the VC, and the, where is it, this is the sixth place for the Impala, seventh place for the Mondo, and eighth place for the DOC, and let's see, ninth place for the Zavaz, and 10th place for the PPA, and 11th place for the Forolet, the 12th place for the FFHM, and the 13th for the Rosewill Bison, and the last place, which is the 14th, for the Hague Burnout LT edition. Alright, so that's pretty much it, my friend. We have driven all the accepted cars and all the disqualified cars then. So tell me in the comment section which one of these cars is your favorite. Which one of those cars would you like to own, to drive in real life, for example, and which one do you think is the worst when it comes to styling, performance? Tell me all this in the comment section. Let's celebrate with some donuts, because we have a manual locking differential, so we can do that. Yep. Let's do some burnouts. So guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, get subscribed, share the video if you want to share it, and of course if you like my videos and if you want to support the channel, you know, to give me more motivation and to support the next challenge to, you know, to make more videos, more amazing videos and more challenges, the link in the description below for my Patreon page. Just sign up to my Patreon page, and by doing that you'll be supporting the channel and you will get a big thank you note from me. And of course you can download all these special cars, all these special replicas, and you will see behind the scenes on the Patreon page if you sign up, of course. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more amazing videos very soon, and for the, of course, the next Friday, because the next Friday will be the Ricer challenge testing video, which will be very interesting to watch. So thank you so much guys for watching. I will see you very soon, and goodbye for now, my friends.